Thanks for all for coming here today. Our sponsor was Mutual of Omaha, and for those of you who don't know, Mutual of Omaha is a insurance. Well, they're primarily an insurance company, but they're an insurance and financial company based out of Omaha, obviously. And so they're one of the few Fortune 500 companies that are like based in Nebraska, and they're really known, like well known around the community for their strong community involvement, that kind of thing. That's a picture of the new building they're putting up right now. It's going to be the tallest building in Omaha. And so yeah, they primarily provide like life insurance and senior financial assistance, that kind of stuff. So they came to us with the challenge of like the large amount of data that they have to deal with. So they have like a ton of complex business data from all of the customers that they have. And so over the course of time, the data has kind of gotten messy. And a lot of different people worked on it because Mutual of Omaha has been around for so long. So I'll touch on that again later, but these are the primary stakeholders for our project. And they provided a lot of technical assistance with us, or assistance to us throughout the course of the semester. And I'll go on. These are our faculty and industry stakeholders. And I'll continue on to the. So here we are. We have 4 of us who are graduating this semester, and then one is graduating in December, and then we have one. It's going to be here another full year. But I'll get right into what the problems was. So essentially, JSON data looks like that document on the side there. And so it has labels, and then it has what the data is next to it. And so they're supposed to adhere to a schema. And so the schema says what kind of data is supposed to be stored in each of those items. And then within those data, like that data itself, there's supposed to be relationships to other data. And so Mutual of Omaha has tons and tons of these documents, and over the course of time, through different developers, the data has become somewhat erroneous in that sometimes maybe a string is stored as an integer, and that can become problematic for parsing the data and having to deal with it for business applications. And so this demands some sort of software solution so that it can be monitored and you can keep track of what errors are there within the data. So that brings us to what we worked on this semester.
So our application is a JSON document validation based on defined schemas. So what we do is we take those schemas and then we validate whole hundreds of thousands of JSON documents against them. We also do referential integrity checks. MongoDB and relational database or non-relational databases, unlike relational databases, don't have an enforced data requirement where the data that it references has to be there. So what we do is we do referential integrity checks, which are essentially we look in other tables or in nested collections to find if that data does exist. We also allow for validation report viewing with historical viewing. So essentially all of the validation runs that have happened in the past, they're all viewable, which means we can look at them all the way down and see how the data has drifted over time. For our schemas, we have a schema management platform where schema versions can be uploaded and managed. Foreign keys, so those nested collections, the inner tables essentially, and then the foreign keys, which are our references, can be customized based on a configuration that we include here. We also have monitor creation. These are essentially cron job scheduled tasks where monitors can be created and configured, and then email notifications can be sent. So runs can be manually run. What it'll do is once it reaches a timestamp or once it reaches a specific time, it'll rerun the monitors and then create a new validation run and then have it referenced under that run history so that you can see how the errors and warnings in your data have changed over time. We also have our validation runs here. These are sorted by document, by the primary key of the document. Non-relational databases have something called collections. Those collections are essentially tables that we use. For each document, we have errors. If you look at the SHP003 PK, you'll see that there's a referential integrity error under the warehouse PK, What that means is that a warehouse PK is a foreign reference to another table, and it finds that a warehouse with WH999 as the primary key doesn't exist. So it's a non-existing relationship. So some of
Yeah, so like the value of what we provided, essentially, it could help Mutual of Omaha keep track of the errors that are in their data, and then keep track of it over time as their data evolves. So the reporting, like the monitor creation we have, will send updates like every single day. You can subscribe like via email, and it'll send updates about what errors are in your data, and so then you can keep track of like what's all there. And then throughout the semester, we learned a ton working with them just about how you need to communicate early in advance working with a large company, and then yeah, like the solutions are not normally like as clean as they are in like a class setting. So there's not necessarily a defined answer. You have to actually just work for what you're looking for. And then we want to finish off by saying thank you very much to like all of our sponsors and our faculty advisor and our industry coach.